Hey guys, want to do a quick EDC video for you, and there's a lot of stuff here, so I'm going to try to move relatively quickly so I don't pass my 10-minute mark. But one thing that's not actually in this pile is what I'm actually going to be using to film the video with, and that's my iPhone 3GS, which is the cell phone I use every day. That is part of my EDC, but obviously I can't include it in this video per se. Since I'm using it to do the video. But moving right along, there's a few things in this pile that I'm really not going to spend too much time on, since they're pretty basic things that you guys pretty much already know all about. One thing is my wallet. Nothing too special there, just a brown leather trifold that I keep my driver's license, credit card, or debit card rather, some insurance cards and other stuff in. Again, nothing too fancy. I've had that for several years now. Gets the job done. Another basic item is my car keys, house key, some work and church keys, things like that. Nothing too special here. I got a paracord lanyard on there that I made, as well as a spring clip that I attached this to my belt loop with, simply because they're a little bit too bulky to comfortably carry in the pocket. Especially with all this other stuff in there. But that's that. Another thing, I got a tube of chapstick, pretty self-explanatory. This is the brand and flavor I prefer. Nothing too special there. I got a couple of earplugs that I carry with me at work. I do work in a steel mill, which is extremely loud in certain areas, so I just use these to protect my hearing. Just some basic cheap earplugs, disposable. And I also have a pretty basic ink pen, Bic round stick medium. These are very cheap, very common, but I actually prefer these over quite a few other brands. They're very reliable, very consistent, and for the money you just can't beat them. So go ahead and throw that aside. And what I actually use that for most often is for writing in this notebook, which is something else I've been carrying for a while. This is my Gorilla Taped notebook. Went ahead and covered it with tape just to make it a little bit more durable and last longer. And it's actually holding up surprisingly well. And you guys may have seen this in a previous video several weeks ago. It's been doing great. So that's that. Another thing I've been carrying for quite some time is this little AAA flashlight. I did a mini review on this a while back as well. This is the ITP A3 EOS upgraded. It's so light and small it practically disappears in the pocket until you need it. And as of lately, this is actually more of a backup light than anything. My main light for right now is this one. This is the light they gave me at work. And it's nothing too special. It's made by Underwater Kinetics, so it is waterproof. It's got a push button on the back. Pretty tight beam, pretty bright, I think 120 lumens or so. 4 AA batteries, and comes in very handy at work. Steel mills can get pretty dark and poorly lit in certain areas, and you definitely want to have one of these on you. But one of the features that I actually like the most about this light is the sheath that it came with. And as you can see, it has a Velcro and snap closed belt loop. So you can actually put this on and take it off of your belt without having to remove your belt and thread it through your belt loops. The front is Velcro as well, and it's kind of a cheaper sheath, but it's actually pretty durable, and I much prefer it over sheaths that I carried in the past. And just to give a quick example, this was a previous EDC flashlight, the 4.7's Quark AA squared. After about a week or 2 weeks of owning this, I got in my car one day, snagged it on the seat, and actually busted the belt loop off, so I can't really carry this anymore. Until I replace this. So kind of a bummer, but this is actually a really nice flashlight, which I would probably carry over this one. But for the time being, That's the one I'm using. Another thing I've carried for several years now is a Leatherman Wave, and this is by far, in my opinion, one of the best multi-tools on the market, and at least one of my favorite multi-tools that I've ever owned. And I actually used an optional pocket clip to carry this rather than the belt sheath. And this thing's gotten a lot of use. I pretty much beat this thing to death, and it's still going strong. Just about as good as it was when it was brand new. And I've used every tool on here dozens of times. None of them have ever let me down. And their customer service is great. I've owned several of their tools in the past. Even had to have some repair work done on one. Highly recommended as a company, and I'll highly recommend the Wave in particular as a tool. It is a little bit hefty for some people to EDC, but I believe that the pros far outweigh the cons. So that's definitely something I don't leave home without. And just real quickly, I'll go ahead and mention this. This is strictly my work notebook. I keep this in my front shirt pocket of my work shirt. You can see a couple of them over there. And this is just something I take notes with at work, whether it's part numbers, phone numbers, different details on jobs. It really comes in handy. It's a lot more quick to access than my other notebook here. And I also like to carry this pen right next to it in my shirt pocket, which again is quicker to access, write stuff down, and put back up, rather than the capped pen that we have here. But as soon as I get home, I usually set that aside or leave it in my work shirt. Now I have a couple of knives here, and this one is a Victorinox Soldier. I go ahead and carry this along with my EDC blade and my Leatherman Wave. Maybe it's a little bit redundant, but I really like this knife. It's pretty lightweight, pretty small. But the tools are indispensable. I use the bottle opener and the screwdrivers quite a bit. And it also has a leather punch or a reamer on it, which comes in handy quite a bit as well. One of the most recent additions to my EDC has actually been this adjustable wrench made by Crescent, USA made. Pretty high quality, but pretty cheap. I think I paid about $8 or $9 for this. And this is just one of those tools that you really don't want to be without when you need one. You don't really realize how much you need one until you don't have it. And it's maybe a little bit hefty, but it's pretty small and carries pretty easily. And this works a lot better for loosening or tightening nuts and bolts than that pair of pliers ever will. So definitely recommend this for EDC, and it's going to get a lot of use. Now finally, I kind of saved one of my favorites for last. This is my EDC blade for right now. This does change from time to time, but this is actually one of my newer blades that I recently bought. And this is actually quickly becoming one of my favorite folding knives. And this is the Spyderco Endura 4 full flat ground version. Great knife, not all that expensive relatively speaking. I think I paid about $56 for it shipped. And it's a pretty large knife, as you could see, but it's actually considerably lightweight for its size. Very capable, very functional, and that blade is just razor sharp, one of the sharpest blades I've ever had. So I highly recommend this knife. Not only is it usable or useful for EDC purposes, opening packages, boxes, and otherwise, but it can also double as a self-defense implement if needed, God forbid. So that's that. That's my EDC. Pretty much what I carry about every day in one form or another. Some items I'll substitute with others that serve basically the same purpose. But for the most part, this is what I have, including my cell phone. So hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of insight to my EDC. Definitely appreciate your watching. Have a great day.